Just getting some final things set here for this final stream of the Silent Soul event. Alright, so I'm just got links posted in line, banned, getting everything set up here on YouTube. I'm testing out some new streaming features and hoping everything just works out with some of these new chat features we got going on. Alright, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I got time that's going to be a bit limited for this. We have in the Silent Soul event, let's take a look. We've got 7 hours, 52 minutes. That's actually a whole hell of a lot of time for this event, but being that it's well, let's see, it's really not that late. It's like 9 p.m. here on the East Coast US time. My goal is just to hopefully knock this out in just a couple of hours, be able to pull up Sugunga here on the stream and see what skills we end up pulling for her. I'm really personally shooting for a little bit more armor piercing for her, mixed with the poison damage and critical, but I'm hoping that 2, I'd really love 3 AP skills on her for the Infiltrator. Just talking about what my consideration for the setup for her will be is using her as my attack titan with all Panthers with it, and looking at the fact that we've got 6 relic slots, I'm still leaning towards using a couple of the relics we actually get from the event here. Looking to use the Tainted Blade on her. Also add in the Tainted Bow, and I have another 3-star Tainted Blade already in my relic collection. So looking at 2 Tainted Blades and the Tainted Bow, all 3 of those not only boost the poison damage for the Titan, but then also boost Panthers. So I'm considering dropping in also another 4-star Bitter Dirks and even a 4-star Mount Armor as well, to just help those Panthers a bit more, so that way it's both of them are pretty equipped for going with the damage. But I'm still playing around with possibly using a 4-star Great Plague, and even throwing maybe a little bit more health relics, armor relics and things like that on her. I'm just going to have to kind of play with the database and just see what some of the best options are, that I can possibly get a good mix of making sure Sugunga actually lasts in battle, but also giving me, the damage output that I want between her and the Panthers. My goal is I'm actually looking forward to using Sugunga, just so I can honestly just kind of break away from the Ranger. I've been using a Ranger for the past several seasons now, and honestly just getting a little bored with it. So I'm hoping to kind of just mix things up and just kind of bring a little fresh breath to the actual gameplay, rating, and things like that. So just kind of get set up for this grind for tonight. Just going to go ahead and get my Panther production line started again. Been running them all day. Haven't really been burning through them, but just to make sure we have what we need. I've got the space to still make them because I've just been clearing out all these basic troops that I've been collecting from drops like crazy. I had near 40 militia, near 40 archers, and near 40 spearmen as well a few days ago, so I've just been slowly killing them away, still earning them from some drops. So I've got room to get my Panthers going. Drop that warp back on there as well. That way, maybe, you know, as that, because I plan on them being lost just because I'm not buffing them. If you caught my stream yesterday, you know that I'm using Venom Tusk for my raids, and he, of course, does not buff the Panthers like my Ranger does. So I'm losing a few more in battle than I typically am used to. But let's talk about what else we've got going on. Just before we get into the grind here, let's see if I've got do an alliance request. Let's just get daily re-ins, and I just need cheap troops. Nothing fancy. I basically just put those requests in just to help people get their dailies. Double checking the dailies here as well. All done for me today. And let's go ahead and just collect what we've got going on in the castle. Upgrades are still moving. Less than a day here to go ahead and get my last of the Panthers built up. And then we also have half a day, really not even, to get my Imperials up, and then also a little over 2 days to get my Unex built up so then I can work on those upgrades next. I'm going to do a quick little check here on my frames per second, making sure that everything tries to run smooth. But it just looks, again, just using a pretty basic software. I'll give you guys a little heads up. What I'm using is Gameplay, which is actually a free software, giving me the opportunity to kind of build out some of these layers and things like that. And working with it, you know, I don't have high gaming CPU stats and everything like that. Just kind of going with this various streaming. That it's really just a matter of kind of working with what I got. Slowly working my way into a little bit more of this streaming atmosphere is where I'd like to go. But it's going to take time for me. So I'm using what I've got, and this software is actually pretty legit. You can see, compared to even just my stream from last night, I've been playing, filled out some of my black space, added some social media handles on here, which I'll just kind of call out now. Bottom of the screen there, you can get ready to start following me on Twitch, Asgard Gaming _ FLNDRL. You can connect with me on Twitter as well, ASG _ FLNDRL. And if you're not already connected with me on the Line app for chatting, my ID is DOT FLNDRL, so you can always hit me up there to talk about this gaming, or if you just even want to, you know, maybe consider live streaming yourself. Again, I'm not working with anything fancy. I've got my iPad, I've got a MacBook, and then I've also just got this free software. Pretty easy. I think anyone can get into it. For me, it's just going to be something I'm definitely looking into doing a little bit more. But we are going to go ahead and start getting our grind on. And I'm going to be testing this a little bit throughout the stream as well. Working with, just kind of playing with a little bit of a chat. I'm trying to pull chat more onto the screen during my feed. Hey Tenchi, what's up? Just going to see just kind of what's happening. If I can get, just again, playing with a few of these different features that we've got going on. I'll just kind of see what happens. But for now, we're just going to get on with the grind. So what I've been doing most of this event is pretty much just heading out to these borderlands, scoping out some of these alliances that, you know, players clearly not all that active in, and I've been picking on these lands like so. And I'll try to keep some of my moving around. I noticed that there's just a little bit of a lag on there with it, again, I'm still fine-tuning some of my live streaming software and things like that. Seems like when I'm not moving, it's pretty much okay, but dropping a few frames per second, which of course doesn't make things good on the receiving end. But taking a look at some of these borderlands out here in these low alliances, just been picking some of these lands that I can pretty much try to power through. 20k defense, 30k defense. I even found someone earlier that only had 6k defense. I'll see if we can maybe pick on them again. I know it's kind of a cheap shot at them, but it's all about getting these speed raids in. So here's, well, about 6 islands or so. We're going to go ahead and just start working our way through. Again, my setup for this is Venom Tusk. Bringing in just random troops, just in case I need to, let's see, been burning them off. Spearmen are kind of okay. Probably actually bring in a militia now to kind of just wear some of them back down to about 10. Don't have any reinforcements yet to burn off. And let me see, still doing 1.2. You know what, after this raid, we'll go ahead, oh, you know, let's go ahead and do it now. We're going to do a quick temple pull. Temple pulls so far have been pretty decent. I think I've actually pulled 3 3-stars. I think I'm at about, I'm trying to do the math in my head, I think it's 3 2-stars, and I have 4 1-stars. That gives me about 10 pulls altogether. I might be off an extra 1 or 2-star there. But I did a pull earlier today. I'm gone with tokens. I actually had about, what was it, 9 tokens coming into it. No, it was about 7, 8 tokens coming into it, collected 2 tokens. So again, I've done about 10 pulls, so I'm off 1 pull somewhere in there. But I've also did a pull today for gems, and I did get a 3-star. So fingers crossed, guys. Yo, 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 Caesar187, thanks for joining me. Let's see if we can get lucky with another 3-star on this pull. I'll actually take either the 3-star. I'd love a 4-star. I haven't got one yet, or a 1-star. See, I'm happy with the 1-star. Compare that to the 2-star. I'm actually getting 576 souls with the 1-star versus only getting 540 souls with the 2-star. Just because of the number of uses and the boosts, the 1-star is actually better for me. So I'll take that. Now let's get in and do this raid. Caesar, have you finished this event? Tenchi, same thing. I don't know if you guys are both pushing through this event. I don't know. I know Caesar banned. I don't know about you. Been trying to keep up with it, but it's been getting pretty weird. Blocking messages, and I'm not even getting notifications anymore. But love to know if you guys are finished with the event or still doing some grinding yourself in these final 7+ hours. Let's go ahead and get that 1-star on. So there's my old 2-star. So 48 souls per battle off of this set of stones and this relic. I should now break over my 10k barrier. And from that, start grinding out the very final 3k souls. Caesar now, but you're waiting for your 4-star reward. Did about half of it. So you went for Logu. Tenchi grinding, not gonna finish. You know, I think if you at least pull Logu, I think she's one of the better of the 3-star titans that are out there. So I mean, even if people are making a push whatsoever, I think making the push to at least get out there to Logu and getting some of these extra relics for tokens to pull in a future event is probably best. I mean, you get Logu, and the very next one is even just another free token. What is it, about 5,500? Alright, see, this happened last night too. I gotta take my Titan and get away. The moment he's gone, that Goliath drops. And it's things like that that just kind of hold up these, what should be quick raids. I've switched up my snack of choice. Last night Reese's Pieces. Tonight beer. Left hand milk stout. Delicious nitro. And that's going to get me through these couple hours of a couple thousand K soul grinding. Alright, come on, let's go on to the next. I showed my logo, I think, last night on the stream. I wasn't all that happy with the skills. A couple players in my line chat helped me kind of change my mind a little bit. I'm okay with her. I'll be hanging on to her. I was most disappointed in the fact that she had lightning resist. The other ones are okay. I'm not thrilled overall with her. I've got another logo right now that I probably would have a preference of using. But in the hopes that lightning actually becomes relevant in the future, I'm just going to hang on to her anyways. It's not like I'm running out of room for my 3 stars. I'm not forging any of my 3 stars or fusing any of my 3 stars away. So it's not like I'm in a rush to get rid of her. See, and same thing. Panther versus Panther. You beat them every time, but they can really slow you down once they kind of get into these cat packs. Another 48 souls. Let's do a quick pulse check. One more away from pulling in the 10k reward, which is actually the relic I've been making the push for, honestly, this entire thing. That 4-star Tainted Blade has always been the #1 thing I actually want. The Morbid Cloak, I'm okay with actually not getting. The Epic Token, I'll be glad to have. I've been saving Titan tokens and even Relic tokens for when hopefully a whole entire new class or race comes out. When they did it with the Vikings, you know, they had some of the tokens that I pulled. Let's see, Arvan I ground with. I actually got unlucky because it wasn't a Titan only, but it was the Relic only in the temple. So I pulled a couple of Lightning relics because it was the first time, like, guaranteed get the Lightning relic. So I'm kind of saving things like these tokens for moments like that when they guarantee a specific type of new relic or a class specific. I wasn't thrilled with the past relic temple event because none of my tokens were able to transfer into the type of classes that I wanted. So I'm hanging on to it until, fingers crossed, one day we get an all new Titan class. So I'm okay with that, and I definitely want Sagunga because I think she'll change my offense game. Haven't been a big infiltrator in the user. I actually am a fan of the Berserkers, so this will be, that overall speed is something I'll be happy to use. So let's keep going. A couple of cats that'll just slow me down. I don't know, I find it kind of amazing that, I shouldn't say the word amazing, but I'm stunned by the number of people that don't seem to really have an interest in going for Sagunga. I thought this being, I know everyone wanted Ladega for the poison event. We didn't get her. I mean, they were giving her away like crazy a few events ago for the top, what, 10 or something like that, I think she ended up in. So they've been giving Rangers away like crazy. Come on, Panthers, keep it moving. And there's the rare glimpse of Venom Tusk. Glad we spotted that last night. I won't call it again tonight. Alright, that battle there gave us the Tainted Blade. Glad to have that. this is all about the grind. But back to what I was saying. I'm a bit surprised that not so many people were going for Sugunga. You know, Poison Infiltrator, all new Titan. I mean, I thought people would just be glad to have a new Titan option. But there have been a lot of people that have just been saying, you know, hey, I just am going halfway, going to get a couple tokens. I really thought a few people would go in for this. Caesar, you got a tip. Give it up. Send the link to Google Plus and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, not a bad idea. I do have a Facebook page, which I kind of forget to use a little bit more. But that's actually, you kind of remind me, I need to put this out on my Twitter. Not that there's really anybody there, but trying to get the push going. A couple things I'm just in the past couple days, I've made the decision to kind of make the push to start doing more live streaming. And even, I'm going to use YouTube primarily because it seems to be where the DOT community is. But there's a few other games, mobile games, because that's my primary focus. I'm considering going back to my console game for a little bit of Twitch. So I'm going to keep Dawn of Titans, I think, on YouTube. But I'm going to take some of the other games that I play and start putting them out on Twitch. They're a little bit more FPS, roleplay kind of things, more military style. But they've been pretty fun games. I also play another one, Last Day on Earth Survival. That's something I'm considering twitching as well. But let me get some links out here on Twitter as well. Alright, let's battle this. I'm curious to know, Caesar, why you say Google Plus. Not that I want to pick on it at all. But I don't know a lot of people that are using Google Plus. I'm also pretty happy actually making the switch over. I like these Titan boosts, even though I didn't have the 4 stars to get the 1.5 boost. This did make me pull Venom Tusk off my bench, and when I started with him for this event, he was only level 15 and very bottom tier level 15. Barely had any XP for that. Using him in this event, you can see I've now gotten him all the way up to almost level 20, or is he already at 20? I forgot exactly where it was at. But not only through the battles, but I had to throw a few 1 stars into him just because of some Titans I've been winning in drops. My Titan Hall is full, so it made me fuse Titans before I could battle. So I had to, I think all in all, I've thrown maybe 10 1-stars into him, which, again, something I might not have made the choice to do just because he's a champion, and the champion days are a little, you know, they've seen better days. But pulling him off the bench has now actually helped me kind of get him leveled up a little bit more. Now, you know, after this event, it's pretty likely he's going to go back on the bench because I'm going to stick with Sigunga once I get her. I really want to work on leveling her up. I also have just an absolute shitload of infiltrators that are sitting in my Titan Hall. Those guys are all going to get fused right into Sigunga pretty much immediately. So if I win her on stream tonight, my goal is to then take pretty much all of the 1-star, spare 2-star infiltrators that I have and just start dumping them into Sigunga, which I'll probably regret immediately because tomorrow or the day after, they're going to start having a Titan XP boost fusion event or something like that. That's just kind of the way it'll go. Let's just let everyone know here. Alright, so we wrapped up that one. Let's take a look at where we're at. Rewards. Got that 10k mark. Next comes the Morbid Cloak, which is 848 away. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I collect that cloak. And let's see. I have been forging my 3-star Tainted Blade, getting that ready. So let's just scroll through here and open up a slot for that 4-star. And again, you guys can just see the insane amount of 3-stars that I kind of hang on to. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hoarding condition, a little issue. They can put me on the hoarder show. You know, you come into my pretty empty house, everyone be like, "Oh, he's got such a problem with hoarding. He's got to clean up his relics," and they're gonna wonder what the hell's going on. Digital obsession. Let's see, Tainted Blade, QRST. Be helpful if I knew my alphabet. Tainted Blade's at 7. Tainted Bow, again, this is the other one we'll be working at. Now let's throw a little bit at the Tainted Bow. Why not? Let's just do that. I've already thrown a few relics at it. Just didn't seem to budge. Let's just get a little mix on here. And let's go 34%. Let's see if we get lucky. It's higher than I normally go. Normally keep it in that 10-ish range. And sometimes go for that Caesar 7. Caesar, I know you got Ladega. You don't have to keep rubbing it in. It's the one Titan I don't have that would help me out with my cats. Forge failed. That's okay. No big deal. I'm doing this more just to open spots for that 4-star. Ladega is the one Titan I would love to have, although it'd probably take me forever to go ahead and level her up. Let's see. How many spots have I got? 2 spots open. Let's just go ahead and get that blade. Let's get this while we're at it. See, look at all these Titans that are just coming in. And then it makes me have to fuse Titans, so that way I can battle. That's 3 Titans so far, at least 4. Oh, I need that Harrow. I need that for the 9th farm that I built because I was forging away my spares, but I need that. Let's get that. I'm not going to collect these Titans yet because then you're going to make me actually have to fuse them. But let's get some portal stones before we've got to buy them. Let's just get the free ones. I got them all from that way. Makes me wonder. I wonder how many of these could possibly... I wish they showed the stars here. It's the one thing I want the devs to do, is start putting the stars on these relics inside the treasure room. Alright, looks like we got all the portal stones out of there. Yeah, that looks good. Let's use that up. And take the... Let's see, this is going to expire in 2 hours. So I'll make sure tonight, I'm going to have to do some forging to make sure I burn up these 2-3 hour ones for sure before they expire. Alright, let's see what we've got here. 50s. Really not a challenge. As long as there's not loads of cats. They just slow me down. Everything else here looks good. Alright, let's make our run. Little cannonball run on this land here. Still no reinforcements to burn, so that's looking good. Let's get on with it. Nice tip, Caesar. So I'm seeing, you know, Google kind of puts it on a little bit of everything. Sort of all in one thing. I will look into that. I've got a Google Plus personally, but not for my gaming setup. I might go ahead and consider doing that just to make sure Google gets the word out. The size difference in some of these Titans. These piggies just make everybody look small. Alright, cats, get out of that lightning. Frame per second business is still just no good. Again, situation with the Goliath. Just got to get that Titan to turn away. Don't know what it is that's kind of glitching that and holding it back, but one reason why I don't just basically autopilot and then just quit watching. Because that Goliath would actually end up putting some damage out, especially on my cats, if they just sat there group hugging it. Alright, let's plow through some Goliaths before Venom Tusk even gets there. Let's not even send Venom Tusk in there. Let's see, we're going to make another adjustment to the output setting here again. Bear with me, guys. Still just kind of playing some of this live streaming. Being that I use Apple, we still cannot just live stream straight from the device. Still have to do a little bit of a hard connection. Let's put in a few more Panthers down that I just am used to. Not having those Panther buffs certainly makes a difference. How are we doing on body count? Probably gonna have to get that production line filled back up. Alright, quick. Got 2 more raids in for the portal stones that I already have built up. Still losing them. I think I should start dropping that shield spell on there. Not that it's really cost anything. I got nothing but food for now because I can't upgrade anything as far as troops go. So let's get these 2 more raids in. Alright, what is that? Got 3 more left on the Bottle of Light. We'll get these 2 in. We'll replenish some of our Panthers. Probably do another pull. And then get back to the grind again. Maybe get lucky and pull a 3-star this time around. Now, I'm not overall personally thrilled about going in and having to spend my gems. My goal was hoping, I was really hoping that they would go ahead and put a guaranteed 3-star out. But as everyone else has kind of pointed out, we don't really see these Titan boosts or even these Bottles of Light type of events get the guaranteed 3-star. So even with the 10 tokens that I pulled off of my saved up relic tokens and out of the ones that they give you in the event, still didn't give me enough to actually get through all 13k souls that I need here. And I think that's probably going to be the pattern that we're going to see here for a little bit. I think we're going to see these Bottles of Light events with the Titan boosts, not getting the guaranteed 3-star, probably being around this 13k souls. Alright, Venom Tusk, you gotta get out of there. See, look at it, yet again. Champion turns his back, Goliath start going down. But I think we're going to start seeing these Bottle of Light events not get the guaranteed 3-star, be set around 13k. We're going to see these classic soul events that they call them, where we have no Titan boosts. Those will be around 11k, and that will give us the guaranteed 3-star boosts on the last day. Hopefully 24 hours. Sometimes we've seen the 12-hour guarantee. So that'll be a pattern to just kind of pay attention to. Get a pretty good idea going into the event if we're going to get those guaranteed 3-stars. Let's see, I'm going to try and switch it up. See if we can find just another 20 or 30 land. The chain raid through. 13k. I'll take that one. Hopefully we can walk it out of here without losing any of these Panthers this time. 13k defense, you'd think we'd be able to get through that pretty easily. Venom Tusk finally caught up. Still not thrilled with that frame per second, but hey guys, thanks for sticking with it. Something I just gotta keep playing with. Alright, let's just come on back to this. No, you're getting hustled already. That's okay. We're out of stones there, but let's see. Cool, small lines throughout here. What alliance is this? O and R, I'm assuming. Alright, what position are you? 40. We will come back to you. Let's get that production line going. Get you all filled up. There we go. While we're here, let's check on spells. Overstocked. Let's see if we've got to burn anything off. Got a ton of poison clouds. Probably cut those down. Meteors, I actually need those for some of the lands just for the hell of it. I don't mind that my lands get raided. I could honestly care less. But if you're going to come at my lands, you at least get them take a shot at just killing some of your troops. That's pretty much all I put them there for. I know I'm going to lose. Lose pretty much every single land battle. Well, not all of them, but at least let me do some damage while you're coming in, taking some of my shit. Alright, let's see. We need another bottle of light, another 50 portal stones. Shooting for a 4-star. 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. 2-star. It's actually the relic I don't want. Give me the 1-star. And let's fill back up. So let's see, at this count of gems, I am now starting to dip into my own personal stash, which I want to try and keep as much of this in case there's another soul event that happens to come up close to this one that I also want to compete in. 24k souls. 24k gems. It would probably have to be a soul event where eventually they offer the 3-star guarantee, because at 24,000 gems that would not give me enough to get through a 13k no 3-star guarantee event. I always like to kind of have at least some gems saved up in case a back-to-back soul event comes out, because that's just my kind of luck. I go all out for an event. Next event would be something where it's like, damn, I would love to go balls out for that one, but I've already saved up, or already spent all of my saved up tokens, because that's just pretty much my strategy. Is I go several soul events. Who's capping lands? Really? Who's doing that right now? Hours ago? I'm surprised I'm just seeing that right now. Alright, let's head back to that 40 rank. See how we're doing right now. 49 mil, got us at 15th. That's okay. ONR, there you are. Venom Tusk versus Venom Tusk. Let's do it. One more battle left. Fantastic. The long lost twin brothers, separated at birth, battle to the death. But hey, ultimately, even though I'm starting to dip into my own personal stash of gems, because I'm probably going to dip into it a couple more times tonight just to get me those souls, I think the Tainted Blade, an Epic Token, and Sagunga are worth it. You know, making it this far, I certainly want to quit and just call it a day. Definitely going to go at least all out and just finish getting it. Still just I'm watching my output here on my stream, and I've actually dropped down to only like 360 rather than even playing at 480p. I've actually dropped more frames per second now, giving you guys a little bit more lag. Not thrilled about that one. Gotta keep fine-tuning it. Still getting used to this software here. It honestly is a legitimate software. I like the layering, I like the tweaking I can do. I just have to find the best on the performance side of what's going to match with my Mac output. I mean, ultimately I'm using a computer that's of course not really designed or built around my gaming habits. So I'll just have to see if we can just make the use of it. Chances are I'm coming in just right at the bare minimum, if even barely meeting those for what this software output really needs. It does pretty good until all the troops start moving around. But again, we know graphically there's a lot going on with this game. Between, I mean, even the Titan alone, everything happening on the skin, the smoke that happens around him, in battle, the fact that it still maintains a lot of that kind of effect, the troops, the detail, the trees, the land, the breeze, the enemy titans, all that calculation of damage. I mean, it makes sense that it's a high-running mobile game. But hey, ultimately, personal goal, start getting into some more live streaming, start bringing some more gaming out to Twitch, and hopefully be able to open it up to donations and start taking in some gamer donations, help me improve some of my streaming content, my streaming gear. And really start putting up some pretty solid content. I don't know why I end up looking at the backside of Venom Tusk so much for this celebration. It's just been happening, and ever since we noticed and pointed out what you can see on Venom Tusk when he celebrates like that, it's epically distracting. So let's see. Any of you guys that are still watching now, are you guys grinding along here with me? Sir, thanks for the re-ins. Are you guys grinding it with me? You just chilling and watching, chilling and listening? See, it's all this kind of graphic shit like that that just... I mean, I get it. I could definitely see why I've got to up my system recs and what I've got going to do things like live streaming. I'm hoping Apple and iOS, you're gonna run right through that spell. I don't really need it, but when it's in my path, it'd be nice to get. But I mean, again, just graphically talking about the game. I mean, look at everything that's going on. You've got cloud shadows that are moving through. You've got all that scenery in the background. Meaning everything down from the bodies, trees. Venom Tusk is still smoking. You know, so you've got all this stuff going on graphically. This game still honestly impresses me with what it does graphically. Tenchi, I see you're still grinding. What's up, Digital Microspace? Chilling here, enjoying good gameplay. I hope I'm giving you some good gameplay. Just working my through. Last 3,000 souls. Just broke the 10k barrier here at the start of the stream. And we are just going all night long until we get to Sagunga. Let's do a check-in. Alright, 440 away from the cloak. Don't really need the re-ins, but I like to just burn them off. That way, the moment the opportunity comes around to request them, I can go ahead and do that. I'm just getting comfortable. It's going to be a long stream. There you are. Rush on in there. That'll be a good clip. See if I can snag that clip out of there and add it into... I gotta create a trailer for my YouTube channel. Don't know why I just drew that word out. Moving up through level 20. Start at 11:15. Six more battles. This should get us through Alright, let's see if we can make this 2 solid raids. I had to mute out there for a minute. Wife just walked in. Just distracted. Let's throw lightning down, just because why not? Alright, there's another one down. Gotta take a look and see what kind of relics we're getting for our drops. So of course I say that, and these two happen to be troops. But again, another reason why I don't, in weeks, haven't, maybe even months, have not made standard troops. I have not made a militia, archer, or spearman. Saying that, I also still keep their levies and their warps, because I'm just waiting for the moment when they have their moment to shine. I mean, we've seen it for a little while. Goliaths were the meta for the troops. I mean, they were the troop to go with, along with champion Titans. Both of them no longer have the day. Then we went on to Elethans. You know, they've had their moment to shine. Unax had it as well with their range, and I feel like Unax are still, if you use them the right way, can still be pretty decent. They've got good range on them. But Elethan had their big moment to shine. Everybody was going with Aeolus and the Elethans. Aeolus still is out there because the Ranger Titans are still the meta for right now. But the troop meta right now is totally on Panthers. But I think eventually we'll get maybe a stronger shift to the Unax. But I'm really hoping they actually have some standard troops meta that comes along. I'd really love to see Spearmen. I mean, I know Spearmen, especially level 25, same thing with Militia. I mean, they're good troops. You buff them, they can really be solid troops. But they still just can't hold up against the Panthers and things like that unless you've got them intensely buffed. And no one's just putting that kind of investment into them right now. But I'm hoping they've got their day. You know, some people are thinking that they will adjust one of those troops, whether it be archers, spearmen, or militia, and eventually make them a lightning troop. I don't think it will happen, just because of all the current work that's out there between Titans that buff them, not having a lightning damage that goes along with, you know, the way that they've set up even Vikings right now that boost their own lightning damage. They're usually either that or they're buffing a troop, like the archers, like Grimwald. So I think that if we ever see a lightning troop, which I'd love to, I think it'll be something new. It'll be like a miniature mage troop. You know, these troops maybe do a little bit of lightning damage somehow, if we ever see that, but I'm still not holding my breath on the lightning. Now, there is one thing, you know, after I finish up these two lands, one thing I want to point out that I think would be cool if they actually incorporated into the game. Talk about it. It's something that actually is there in the, let me remember, I think in the barracks in your garrison. I mentioned it actually during one of the dev live streams of, you know, something new to add to the game to just kind of change up your either offensive or defensive capabilities, something besides a troop. And I see that they already have them kind of like designed in the game. Let's just actually maybe make them usable. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Let's knock out 2 more raids. Still have 3 more on the bottle. Depending on how long we go for tonight, might end up having to do a little intermission. You know, for you guys, I prepped a little intermission just in case, because the last stream going for 3 hours, there was a moment where I needed to get up. I didn't stop streaming. But I also wasn't drinking a beer last night, so we'll see. Alright, Panthers. Go ahead and just start doing your thing. Oh, that fear spell got him. A little bit. Now he's back in action. Come on, Venom Tusk. Put that Goliath down already. There we go. I'm curious to know, those of you watching, what do we think the next soul event's going to be? We've had quite a few fire. I noticed a few people, even to the live stream, were asking for another fire, but I think we've seen fire have almost the highest number of soul events since global launch. I think right along there is ice. I know one thing I wouldn't mind seeing is another physical, human style event. You know, whether we see Ulrich back again, whether we see, what's his, Manfred or something like that. Even seeing Talon come back as a human ranger. Seeing that kind of, just again, really spreading the elements out. It'd be nice, personally, if we actually, it doesn't have to necessarily be in an order, but it'd be nice if we at least see one of every single type of element soul event before they started doubling it or tripling it once again. I know they kind of get themes. You know, I'm sure they kind of get these ideas and they're like, oh, this is so great, let's just go with it. But I'd really like to see these schedules or ideas of, you know, let's know that, you know, hey, we just saw fire, so we know we won't see another fire event until we've seen a poison, a physical, you know, an ice. I think I got it all. You know, let's do that. Same thing goes, like, okay, hey, we just had an Unak. You know, maybe it wasn't specifically fire, but maybe, like, the reward was an Unak Titan. You know, maybe we know that we won't see a top Unak Titan available until we've seen a top Elethan in an event. Or if they do an Infiltrator, you know, you got the idea. If they do an Infiltrator event, then we shouldn't see another Infiltrator event until we've been through Rangers, Berserkers, Paladins, Champions, etc. Like, be nice not to see them all too doubled up too fast. I know one thing a few people have talked about on the dev stream as well, is a relic only. I know I've dropped the idea, I think Zalan's dropped the idea, Bo's dropped the idea. Give a quick nod to them, you know, if you haven't, if you don't watch. I'm pretty sure almost most of the DoD community is pretty familiar with them now if you check stuff out on YouTube. Zalan with non-toxic, Bo with non-toxic. I'll throw out a few more while I'm distracting myself here. Candor Kid, we've got Soldier, we've got Caesar, of course. Who am I missing here? Pisces Shark. You know, all these guys get out there and put out some pretty good content. So if you don't, make sure you check out their channel. Make sure you subscribe. Give them the likes. Tune into their live streams. You know, a lot of the YouTubes, we do it just because we have fun with the game. Like trying to put some info on there. But it also helps us becoming a little bit more visible on YouTube. The more likes, the more subscribes, you know, the shares, things like that that we get really help our channels become that much more visible. So every bit of that is very much appreciated. I know one thing. I think I just love seeing some diversity in the community. I don't think we have a female YouTube DOT streamer. You know, we used to have the Frandroid, but she's gone. Of course, she was the dev. I'd love to see a female DOT YouTuber get in on the mix. I think we could use that diversity. Alright, so that capped off those islands. Before I go hunting for another one, let me show you a little bit of what I was talking about, what I'd love to see them incorporate into the game. and it is something I actually just noticed it today in the barracks. When I was kind of waiting for some souls to replenish, I was just kind of browsing through, yet again, just kind of looking at the detail of things that are going on this map, from the people walking around, the people that are actually in the fields with the corn, down to, the mines. And you can actually see the carts, rolling around. For whatever reason, today was one of those days where it just kind of caught my attention. I was just looking at some small details. But one thing I noticed is something I made a mention to the devs during a live stream is, other than troops, let's start seeing some equipment maybe available on the battlefield. And one thing I noticed, I think it was here in the barracks. Yep, I don't think I can get in a little bit closer. I noticed that the barracks actually have small catapults as just part of the decoration. And I had mentioned during a stream, now these have probably been here forever and I just never noticed it. Don't know if anyone else ever has. Not that it really is important right now, but I think, you've got to stick with this whole medieval knights, castles, that kind of stuff. You can't start introducing guns and whatnot because it just doesn't fit this theme. But you've got to be able to add in some arsenal to what we've got going on. We've got archers are the only ones that really have a weapon of a range style. You're looking at arrows. When talking about human troops, the humans don't have a whole lot going with them. You've got Unix that can throw their fire and all that. That's a little more elemental. But this catapult, imagine having, even a troop that can bring in the catapult, and maybe something like the catapult eats up one of your troop spaces, and you still even have to build another troop to operate it. Like, you can't use a catapult if you don't bring the militia with you, or you don't bring, maybe like some engineer kind of troops. So you've got these two that have to go together. So even though you can bring out this big arsenal, it kind of brings less troops for the battlefield. It'd be something that might mix up that strategy a little bit. But I just noticed these guys. I thought they were kind of cool chilling there. For me, it already tells me that they clearly have a catapult design. Let's put that to use rather than just decorative. I think it'd be pretty simple. You've got people that can go with it. I think that would be just the next level, is just bringing something else into that offense, or even putting them on defense. Can you imagine having a defense where you've got, maybe a wall of Goliaths that you can stack up, and then you've got these catapults that can be in there too? I just think it would be something interesting for the gameplay, and since I spotted them today, I figured I'd share it with you guys as well. Let me know what you think. I'm watching my comments here on the stream. Caesar, I see you say, yeah, you're up with it. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think there's a couple other things that'd be interesting to see what we've got. I've got no doubts. The devs have all these different ideas and things that are already floating out there. It's basically just prioritizing, what do we need now and what can we do now? And I know the work that I'm in, we always have a pipeline of ideas of things that we might never see come to fruition for a year or 2 years. In a game, I hope they can move a little bit quicker than that, but I know that this is a game that I easily will keep playing for another year, probably even longer, as long as it still stays supported. And so far it seems like it's got the support from Natural Motion, from Zynga. They got their other things going on, but some news articles we've seen over the past couple weeks, months, definitely shows that they're still investing in it, which is good. But let's go ahead and get back to the grind. How are we doing on Panthers, by the way? Do we want to top off? Yeah, 63. Let's go ahead and just top off. Did I not pull my levy? There we go. I'm not even going to bother putting the warps back on. I'm not burning through them that fast. pull it? God damn it. I keep forgetting to pull the levy. Let's see. No, I still don't have a builder available. Only working with 3 builders. Haven't pulled it for the 4th builder yet. But in times like this, I'm actually surprised. Honestly, I mentioned this to my crew earlier today online. I'm kind of surprised I actually broke the 2 mil mark. I think I've done this, a couple times before. I'm usually not a big 2+ million kind of player. I try to keep things a little bit more casual. It's usually during specific events that I kind of turn up for it and really show up. But I'm surprised that I'm even. This has got to be the 3rd time I've gone through at least near 2 million gold. The 3rd or 4th time I've gone through near 2 million gold almost this season, because I've just been burning it in Fusion, Forge, and doing updates and things like that on troops or stuff like that. I'm surprised I'm getting that because the lands that I'm hitting are honestly, they're just absolute bottom of the bucket. I mean, like, I actually feel like a terrible person rating some of these lands because they're just so below my level. But such is the life of soul grinding. So I'm moving around pretty quick here. Just trying to find a nice setup of lands that we can raid. This looks like a pretty decent pocket here. But back to what I'm saying is I'm hitting these lands that are only 1,000 VP. I picked up a couple the other stream that happen to be around 10k. And these lands also are just pretty low resources. 50k. These are actually some pretty high resources compared to what I've been hitting. A lot of them have been in the yellow. 20, 30, sometimes even just 12 or 13k in resources. So I'm surprised that just by kind of hustling through how much of it. Hey, look, here's a little pocket of 12, so I'm going to shift. I'll take it easy. But I'm just surprised that I've kind of been stacking it up so much. Again, apparently it's just pure a matter of quantity over quality sometimes. But just another perspective, even being a totally free-to-play player, haven't spent $1 in this game. It's not necessarily because I don't want to. I actually really enjoy the game, so I actually have no problem spending the money to support it. But I like being free to play, so that way I can kind of let other players know, like, you do not have to spend a lot of money to compete. I made this comment on Reddit the other day. Somebody, I don't even remember the name, I was just saying, like, they commented on the update video that I posted about the Silent event. And he's like, oh, does everybody have their 20 or 30 gems and all their stuff saved up, spending $50 a week on a game and blah, blah, blah. Like, he apparently seemed a little butthurt over the fact that, if you wanted to be, competitive, you've got to put a little bit out there. And I just kind of shared my opinion with him. You don't have to be. You don't have to spend $10 a week, $20 a week. You don't have to spend money on an event. You just have to choose which ones you go for. There are several soul events that I don't do any gem spending. I don't do any token spending. I go through it and I get my 50 portal stones. I get the first token. Those are the first 2 rewards in pretty much every single soul event. And depending on what else is stacked up in there and how far away the next token might be, I usually will push for that second token. And that's pretty much what I collect from every single event, whether I'm going for the end or not, of course. But when working with it, I do that for 4 or 5 events before I ever pull the trigger and go into another event. Let's see, do we need to pull again? I don't think I've Have I pulled a new 1-star? No. That's okay. Let's just go ahead and do this battle real quick. I'm already in here. So if you save up these tokens, choose the event you want to go for. You know, right now, I really hope they don't change the overall poison meta, just because, you know, clearly I'm prepping for that. I'm going for Sagunga. I've got the bows and the blades of all the poison stuff now, so I'm hoping that they just kind of keep poison. They don't end up nerfing it, especially the Panthers, because I don't want the Panthers to get weakened at all. That would make me kind of just have to reset, change dynamics, all that stuff. But it would also suck to kind of go through an entire event and then, you know, have anything change drastically on what your approach and your plan is for it. But being free to play, again, I can choose. The last event that I went all out and went to the end was Arven and the Lightning event. So I pulled in the 3-star and the 4-star relics from there because, again, there's an opportunity to really get them, see them, have them be available. I picked up Arven just because him being a berserker, it attracted me. Him finally having the lightning damage and them kind of putting it out in an event like that, I'm just hoping that shows us that they're getting closer and closer to using lightning as a legitimate element in the game. It's here, it's just not solid yet. Guts, how many tokens or gems should I save up to finish an event? I think it kind of depends on how the event goes. For an event like this, 13k souls, Titan boost, no guaranteed 3-star, I've already gone through at least a dozen tokens. Now those, I shouldn't say tokens, I went through 10 tokens that I had both saved up and the ones they gave us here in the event. I think I had 8 of them already saved up. And this event, let's just double check, I believe gave us 2 poison tokens. So pretty early on. And then we got a relic token and then a 3rd one later. So I actually might be, I'm somewhere in that 11 or 12 tokens that I've used. I forget, I'd probably go back to my stream because yesterday's stream is when I first started cashing in my tokens. So I could kind of get an idea that where I started with is pretty much what I had saved up. If we have an 11k soul event, no Titan boost, we get the guaranteed 3-star. You could probably get it done in that 10 to 12 range. I've used all of those for this event, and I'm purchasing more. I'm still going to be purchasing a few more. Again, I'm about to hit 11k souls, so that's going to give us the next reward. Are we getting that Morbid Cloak next? And I'll probably pull, I don't know, might be 3 or 4 more relics to finish out the Epic in Sagunga. Now, I probably don't need them. I probably could go ahead and grind it just because, I mean, I have the time, but I also don't want to sit here for 5 hours grinding it at 12 souls per battle. Once I break through the Epic token, maybe I might make a switch and buy a set of stones. Maybe I might buy the buy the 100 souls for 600 gems. That'd be cheaper than buying another relic. So we'll just kind of see what are my maybe next 1 or 2 relic pulls going to be. I haven't gotten a 4-star yet, and I would love to get a 4-star. But before I do another pull, I'm going to actually just use up just this 1.2 that I have. That'll at least break us through the 11k barrier and only give us 2k more souls to go, which honestly I could do before the end of the event without probably doing another pull. But no offense, I don't want to be sitting here grinding this out for the next 3 or 4 hours to get there because, oh, what's the math on that? let's say if I had 2,000 souls. I'm getting a calculator, guys. I don't math so good. Alright, we've got 2,000 souls. I'm getting 12 souls per battle. That's another 166.6666666, a lot of sixes, battles I'd have to do. So let's call it 167 battles that I'd have to do. 3 portal stones apiece. I've got to use 500 portal stones to get through those 2,000 souls. So for me, now I'm gonna get some more relics. Just speed it up. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis. That's so old, but I just still love. I love YouTube shenanigans. Milestone reward unlocked. All right, solid. Let's see, we've got a little less than 2,000 souls to go. So you guys have been with me. Let's see. An hour and 26 minutes. Went through the first 1,000. We're going to try to get through these last 2,000 a little bit quicker. Let's do a quick check on relics. And hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to call this just an intermission from raiding for a minute. I'm going to just go ahead and do some forging. Let's throw some early forging on that new 4-star Tainted Blade. See, we get success. We'll take it. Sometimes just a matter of luck. Although, this is my lucky hour. I'm going to say that, knock on wood. I notice after 10:30 p.m., I usually get a little bit more luck out of things. I get more luck out of finding VP. I get more luck out of some of these polls. I get more luck out of some of this forging. Let's see if we can keep it up. And hopefully I'm not just talking BS right now, but let's mix it up and throw in all 2 stars now. Coming at 14%. Probably not going to get a success out of it, but let's just see what we've got happening. Ah, failed. That's okay. We've got 7 spots open. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get that 4-star. I'm going to make sure I got a slot open. One thing that always just makes me nervous sometimes about leaving what I know is a guaranteed 4-star relic that's inside here is I know players comes across moments when they can't log into the game. Servers are down, all that kind of junk. I don't want to leave something I know is a 4-star sitting in here. And look at all these Titans that are still going on. Now the one thing I'm kind of, I guess that just tells me my Titan Hall is full right now. That's what's happening. That's why they're coming into the treasure room. So typically Titans do not go into your treasure room. I'm pretty sure on that. Normally you still get them. I'm pretty sure my Titan Hall is just full. So we'll have to make sure once we get Sagunga, we'll go ahead and do some fusion. Open up some room for those guys. But let me come back here and collect some of these hour to expire relics. Again, still nice to see. Event rewards, still get your almost 7-day timer, standard raid rewards, get your 2 hours. So I'm glad that at least in the events, that time frame stays a bit longer for those. Just keep going till we are full. We are full there. Let's do another round of forging on the Tainted Blade. So many 4 stars that are still sitting at level 1. It's expensive to upgrade those, yo. Alright, Caesar 7. Don't know if you're still watching. Caesar 7. Let's see if we get lucky. I know you said it's 1 out of every 5. And this is my 3rd forge. Let's just see what happens. I'll live ambitiously. Caesar, I hope you're watching right now. Caesar 7. Forge success. That's 2 out of 3 forges that have gone well. Let's do it again. Must be a little bit of that 1-star mix that goes in there. 2-star. 2-star. Alright, we're going to keep it around 9% this time before we throw in another 3-star. Usually don't like to throw 3-star relics into a forge unless it's me kind of pushing to unlock that 2nd or 3rd slot. Usually try to keep most of this all with 1 and 2 stars. I try to keep as many of these 3-star, especially the 4-star. I never forge away a 4-star. 3 stars, as you've seen as I scroll, I have multiples and multiples and multiples of many. I usually don't use those until I'm pushing for that extra slot. So let's go ahead and just go with 3 of these, 9%. Let's see what we can get here for our forge. Forge fail. That's okay. I'm not upset by this. How many spots have we got open? 7 more spots open. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, still got a couple hours on those ones. Now I'm full. Let's get back into it. Still got my small lands here. And I am out of bottles of light, I'm pretty sure, correct? Let's go ahead and do a poll. Shooting for a 4-star. Happy with 3-star. Okay with a 1-star. Prefer not to get a 2-star. But Guts, back to your question. I hope that I kind of answered it. Boom! That's a win. 3-star, 7 battles. That's going to be giving me 840 souls. So that's going to help almost knock out a good chunk of that next tier to the epic token. Nice. I'm feeling this tonight, guys. This is pretty good. We've had 50% success on forging that all-new Tainted Blade 4-star. I mean, 2 out of my first 4 forgings. I think that's pretty good. This is a whatever relic, but okay, we'll take it. Pulled another 3-star today. Now, and I'm pretty excited about this because I don't typically do pulls, especially for gems. I don't typically have luck. I usually don't. Honestly, I can almost say I've never gotten a 3-star boost unless it's been guaranteed. I have never pulled a 4-star. I primarily get all 1-stars and then a handful of 2-stars. But because of the math, I'm usually happier with a 1-star versus a 2-star. 2-star helps you move through the tiers a little quicker, but because of their lower number of uses, you don't end up getting as many souls over the long run. The 1-stars, even though it's not a lot, they still give you a few more souls. Comparison for this one here, if I haven't mentioned it already, I'm getting a 1.2 boost off of Venom Tusk because he's a 4-star. At his level, the 1-star gives me 576 souls. 2-star gives me only 540. So I'm 36 souls less, which for me, that's, what is that, 12, 24, that's 3 extra raids that I get out of that battle that I have to do individually to equal the 1 star. A 3 star gives me 840, and a 4 star gives me 1,560 in total by the time I've spent through it. So 2 stars are actually less valuable to me because I want to get as many boosted souls out of this as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and get this 3 star equipped. And here you can see stacks on stacks on stacks of duplicates. And many of them I don't even have really leveled up. I mean, I know there are lots of people that want these iron relics, and mine are sitting here not really leveled at all. But I don't use human titans, so I haven't had the really need for it yet. When that becomes the meta, you better believe I'll probably be playing catch up on it. Great Plagues, I just got a load of them. I wish the 3 star came in a version that boosted titans, and I'm sad to know that the 1 4 star Great Plague that I have does not boost. I said titans, I meant panthers. It does not boost panthers. I got the titan boost only 4 star Great Plague. Not thrilled about that because I love my panthers right now. That's just, they're the way to do it. Now here's the other thing, talking about these bottles of light, any relics for soul events, make sure that you use these as fusion food. Even though they're empty, 0 out of 7, you cannot repair them, so you cannot get them full again, but they still work as a valuable 3 star for forging. So make sure that you don't just get in here and just sell them out. Go ahead and use them. So I'll hang on to these, probably use them up to try to boost that 4 star Tainted Blade a little bit further, because I'm willing to put 3 stars into that one for sure. But that's just something to consider. Don't just ditch them. Don't just sell them. Use them as forging fuel. So here we go. 120 souls per battle. Just auto order this one. I'm gonna bring this guy over here. Oh, you're still gonna just charge it, huh? Bye, militia. Sacrifice. Anybody watching now that has pulled a 4 star boost from this event, I've seen, I think on the line chat, I've seen only just one person post a 4 star relic boost. In fact, let's just take a quick peek. Let's get in there on the line, see what's happening. Which, coming back to it, you can see at the bottom of the screen, anyone that hasn't heard me say it already, if you haven't already noticed, I've got some different ways just to connect with me. Very last one, DOT FLNDRL, that's my ID on the line app. You can direct message me there. I do have a Dawn of Titans chat that is a little bit of everybody from all over. Really great information. If you're not in on that chat, I think you should be. Hit me up on line, again, DOT FLNDRL. I'll add you and I'll get you in the room. We talk about nothing but DOT. Keep it very focused. Sometimes have to refocus it. I've had to do that a couple times, but it's honestly a great chat. We post our Titans pretty much any time that we get some new ones, whether we win new ones or even we just get new ones in the game. So there's been a lot of Sagungas flying around so far. And we get some really great opinions on, how can we use them? Offense, defense, is it good for putting a lot into it? Which Titan should we go for? So if you're looking for some information on that, just to kind of increase your DOT knowledge, even get some support with some decisions you're making, then feel free to hit me up online, ID DOT FLNDRL. You can also now, as of this week, follow up with me on Twitter at ASG_FANDRL. I'll be using that to interact with the devs a bit more, tweeting and retweeting their content, especially because we now know that they've said, hey, if you want to win some of those shirts, retweet. So I'm going to be a little bit more active on there than I have been. I'll be sharing anytime that I go live or anytime that I post even one of my more production style videos. I'll be posting that information online. And even though I'm not all there yet, I'm going to be putting a little bit more focus of different games that I play. So it's not just going to be DOT. I'm going to be putting some other first-person shooter games, things like that, other strategy games that I'll plan on streaming through to Twitch. So connect with me there. Not a whole lot content there going on yet, but it's something that I'm getting in the works of doing. So glad to have you following me there and network with it. I'm also in the non-toxic chat, even though I'm not a non-toxic member. They have a very open band chat, so I would even suggest, I mean, chances are you already know of this because you found a link to it on one of those, but if not, make sure you get on there. I try to stay as active with it as possible because I love playing DOT. It's one of the first mobile games that has really drawn me in, and I think it's the graphics mostly. You know, I love how the game looks, the detail to it. I enjoy interacting with the devs. There's a lot of games. I've even played Natural Motion's CSR before. It just couldn't keep me for a long run. There are quite a few other games that I've just downloaded and played, and Dawn of Titans is honestly one of the first games that really has made me want to get in here and log in daily to play it. There are other games where I logged in just because, you know, Venom Test, what are you doing? That I logged in every day just to make sure I got these daily rewards that they gave away just for logging in. I actually like the fact that DOT doesn't do that. I like that DOT doesn't give you just this login bonus. I know they mentioned, they're like, oh, we're considering it. I think they said that in their last live stream. I hope they don't do it. I hope they don't make it just something where you log in and collect something. I enjoy having to come in here, and I've got all these gems that I could collect. But I have to still complete a task, so I've got to get in. I've got to, you know, and they're cheap, they're easy. Raid one player, land or castle, collect a neutral land, train a couple troops, fuse a titan. Whatever it is, it still makes me do something in the game, which I appreciate. I'm not asking for a complete and total free handout just because I logged in. But getting in on it, it's a game I actually really enjoy playing. And there may be a time that I actually spend a little coin on it. Just because I want to support the game. But I hope that by me at least YouTubing and streaming some of the content, that it at least helps support the game by getting players into it, keeping players interested in it, giving players some new ideas. And if you make the choice to spend a little bit, you know, hey, by all means go for it. I like maintaining the opportunity to show people, you know, what can a free-to-play player still do. This game does not necessarily mean and be built around the idea that you have to pay to win. Now, yes, if you probably want to end up on, you know, the global leaderboard and end up in the top 4 to 5 people in Legends, then yeah, you're gonna have to spend to compete with that. But if you're happy getting free gems, getting a couple of 3-star, 4-star Titans every so often, I mean, they take forever to upgrade and level up anyways. What do you need 50 of them at one time? I mean, you're not getting massive amounts of it anyways, so casual competitive style works for me. You know, I'm competitive when we want to be. That's how our alliance, that's how Asgard DSB works. We're competitive when we want to be. We make the push when we want to, but we all play a bit casually. Our alliance does not have a minimum requirement other than no 0 VP. Digital, are you a VIP player? No, I am not. I've actually asked how to become one because there's really no understanding of what it takes. Is a VIP player someone who spends a lot? Although there's many people that say they are a VIP player and they haven't spent really anything. I think you've got to at least spend something to get on their radar. I've emailed the guy that people have actually shared screenshots of who their, VIP connection is. Never got a response from Steve. But not VIP. Also not a power player like Bo and Zalan. They're power players. APOC from Non-Toxic. He used to be a power player. DBR. I say used to be a power player because he doesn't play the game anymore. DBR was a power player, but he's not playing the game, it doesn't seem like anymore. It looks like he's kind of shifted gears. And I'm not sure else. I know Bo and Zalan are power players because they get access to a few things before other players do. Like the Land's Awakening update, they actually had duplicate accounts that they were able to share a little bit with the YouTube community. They got to play the Land's Awakening update in its beta mode and kind of just see what it was all about. I would actually thoroughly enjoy being a power player like that, just because I enjoy playing DOT. But as of right now, I'm a standard player at Digital. I'm just free to play, and I just play every day. Since global release, I have played DOT every single day. Not always hours and hours of grinding like this. Sometimes I just get in and make sure I get my daily tasks done. I do at least one full set of portal stones every day. Typically, I'm doing about 2 to 3 sets of portal stones within a day. And I just, standard player, nothing fancy here. I just enjoy YouTube foring it because kind of just something that drew I was playing it every day and I just said, why not? I've actually never YouTubed a game prior to Dawn of Titans. But because of it, this has kind of pushed me to know a little bit more. I'm not a tech genius by any means, but I love kind of just playing around with devices and stuff like that. So I've learned a lot more about streaming content. I've learned a lot more about what I can do with YouTube. I've learned a lot more about even just recording my own device and stuff like that. So through playing DOT, it's actually helped me learn a lot more about even YouTube, which made me give that push to say, I can do this. So let me just figure it out. So of course I went to YouTube and learned how to YouTube a bit more. And through that, I just kind of keep tweaking. Right now, I've been working on a new intro video. Right now, all of my videos kind of just have an intro picture, and that's just become a little stagnant for me. I get bored of things kind of quick. Again, another reason why I like DOT is with how quick I sometimes get tired of doing the same things over and over. DOT gives the opportunity to mix it up. I think a lot of people look past that. A lot of people that say, hey, coming in and doing these raids are repetitive. They're repetitive. Yeah, but go ahead and ditch your main Titan. If you raid with a Ranger all the time, drop that Ranger and go back into a Berserker or go to a Champion, go to an Infiltrator. Challenge yourself a little bit, and I think that you'll actually find yourself having some of that more original fun with DOT if you ever feel like you get into that kind of rut with it. I think just the opportunity to mix up your troop, mix up your Titan, can keep this game pretty fresh for you. Yeah, the motions of it are a bit redundant. You go in, you raid, you cap. Start yourself a cap war. Get out there and start capping people, waiting for somebody to just start capping back, go back and forth. I think it was actually the start of this season. I got into a little cap war with a guy. He capped one for me. Actually, he capped 2 for me and hit my garrison for no reason. So I went back, hit his garrison, and I capped 3 lands. He came back and kept 4. I came back and kept 5. And we kind of just kept going back and forth, taking kind of like the lands +1. And I actually thought it was a good time. You know, neither one of us ever direct messaged the other and was like, how long are you going to do this? He never hit me up and was like, I can do this all day. Like, he never got to bragging rights. He just played the game. We each were camping each other. And that kind of gave me for a couple of days there. And then the event started. But for a couple of days really kind of gave me a good kind of recharge of something different to do. Like, I didn't care about my resources. I didn't care about upgrades during that time. I was completely focused on, let's just get into a camp war. But again, I'm not committed to my lands, which I encourage other people. Don't commit to your lands. You get them brand new for one. You don't have to do the raid anymore. One portal stone, boom, that land comes back. And you can still cap lands for one portal stone. It looks like they've kind of figured this out. During this event, you could still cap lands for one portal stone, but they took the soul rewards away from it. Speaking of portal stones, looks like we need to refresh. Not going to recharge there. Keep hitting the wrong button. Let's go back to our gems, resources, and let's just get another 50 for now. Just kind of keep going this way. I'm hoping, I think we should be able to do it, but my goal is to, I think, keep my gems at least 20,000 and above. That's, I say that and I'm already realizing that's not going to be doable because one more temple pull is going to drop me down into 19. So let's just say as close to 20,000 as possible. Let's check our status. We are 276 away from the epic token reward. $276 and one more use for 120. So it looks like we'll probably do this in easily one or two more bottle of light pulls from the temples. So that's another 4K. That's going to drop us down to 17. Let's hope we don't break 15,000 gems during the stream. That I'd be happy if I can keep it at 15K. Digital. I like a camp war on occasion. I don't want to be stuck in it an entire season. I feel like that could just kind of get tiring after a while. Like, eventually I'll just kind of be like, I don't care. I'm done going through the lands. But for a quick day or two, fun little battle, it just gave me the energy. I did do competitive playing for a while. I burned through all of my militia. Let's throw, I got a lot of Grens. Let's just drop a Grenadier on there. But I'm having some major deja vu right now. I did competitive play. I was in part of the teams, even Asgard, actually, when it first started. And I've got some people that watch these videos that were, you know, played with me originally, and they got kicked because when I actually first started Asgard, kind of the whole backstory, because why not, right? I got the mic here. When I first started playing this game, I was actually in an alliance called War Crazed, and me and this other player, this guy Deranged, we were the two active ones. We had both started this game around the same time as each other. You know, we were in the Bronze League, and you know, back then we were considering what grinding it out. Like, breaking a couple hundred VP used to be a cool thing. You know, you didn't get a million VP even easily within a season. You know, a million VP was top ranks at one point in time. You used to be happy having 200K or 300K. So during that time, the alliance kind of went dead. The leader disappeared, never came back. So me and Deranged, you know, we decided to just start it up. He said, you know, hey, we'll do this thing, but he's like, I don't want to be a leader whatsoever. I just don't want to manage people. Why don't you just go for it? So when I started the game, I really did not want Like, I never had the intention of being a leader. Like, I wanted to just jump into an alliance, kind of play my thing, but fell into starting the alliance. Deranged, unfortunately, doesn't play. I actually kind of hope one day he still comes back around. He was a fun player to play with. He was a bit of on the aggressive side, but I thought it was pretty fun. He'd go into global chats just to stir things up, and it was fun. But through that, because of the terrible first alliance I was part of, when we started Asgard, we used to require people to have VP posted every day. You know, and that was, I think that we started out with a minimum of like 15,000 VP a day. So you could see just how low VP used to be. And there's a few players that they didn't get that daily. We would kick them every day. We would do kicks. It was ridiculous. You know, it was just a different gaming style at that point in time. Eventually, kind of cut more people than we should have. We started going down to just seasonal recs. You know, hey, get this much XP by the end of season. And the thing is, when I myself am not even a paying player, you know, it's hard to even just kind of say, like, people like, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to reach that. You know, if you're a casual player, there's all different degrees of casual playing. I'm going to just wrap up this battle without another bottle of light. So all that kind of shenanigans eventually is now finally just kind of led me to the point. The past couple months, Asgard has been, we're casual, you know, help us be competitive when we want to be competitive. You know, if we're, especially when we were shooting for promo zones, because we were climbing up from, you know, elite and all that stuff. So like, hey, when we're getting competitive, everyone needs to be on board for that. But for the most part, very casual. Tenchi, catch you later. I'll still be here probably for a bit, so if we see you back on, thanks for joining me on the stream though. But in the end, I've kind of cut all requirements. It's pretty much just as long as you post some VP that supports the team, that's what it's about. Because I know that there are players that have on seasons, off seasons. DOT is not life. Real life happens. All that stuff to take care of. So take care of it. You know, there have been seasons where my VP was low because I took a vacation or work and all that kind of stuff. I travel a lot, so I depend on hotel Wi-Fi and stuff like that, and sometimes it's not great, so I can't always get in to play as often as I want to. I've got my data package, but I try not to go nuts on that data package on my iPad. So anyways, we've gotten just to the point where now the only thing we cut is 0 VP. If you give us a heads up in advance, like, hey, I got some stuff going on, then we'll, you know, hey, have a bye season, no big deal. Right now, I think we still have 3 open spots on Asgard. I touch, done with the event, 6,500 stones. Is that what you spent on it? I'm already over that milestone, I think. But I've also got players that are out there on DOT that, you know, they started with us, they moved on to another alliance because they wanted to be a little more competitive. All good. You know, hey, do your thing. And sometimes still get a message like, hey, you know, I just need to chill, don't want to be, you know, excessively competitive right now. Are you guys still doing your thing? Yeah, I'm still DOTing. I probably will be for a long time. I honestly think this will be a game that I'll play until they ultimately kind of just turn it off. When you've already put this much time into it, I haven't put money, but when I put this much time into it, it'll be hard for me to just kind of walk away until my wife finally looks at me and says, you need to walk away. Sometimes she catches me on my phone when we're on vacation, things like that, still checking online. She's not happy about it, but make it work. So, you know, they come back, they say, hey, I'm just looking to still play. I just can't be dropping $50 this week, and I can't keep up the grind. I got things going on. Can I come in and just do, you know, what I can do with you. Absolutely. The way I look at it, I think once you've joined Asgard, as long as you play DOT, you can always return to Asgard. I touch 6,500 stones. You use 6 tokens. Got logo and gems. Okay, so you are not going through to the end of the event, is what I'm understanding. You went the halfway point. You about, I'm assuming, the 5,500 milestone. Hitting logo at 5,000. Got the next token at 5,500. Calling it quits there. So walking away with the stones. If you did that, great move. I think if anybody was moving through this event at all, getting to that 5,500 milestone is a perfect sweet spot. You've got Logu, who I think is one of the best 3-star Titans in the game, with the right skills. You know, on yesterday's stream, I wasn't thrilled about my Logu, but a few ideas shared through chats made me feel a little bit better about her. So I'm going to hang on to her. I'm not considering her, you know, my total. She's not totally trash. She's kind of my side chick right now. I got another Logu. So she's got a sister she's competing with for that attention. Alright, let's see. Where are we at? Is it time for another pull? 120. That's 10 more raids. Alright, that's this full set of stones. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. This is going to be my strategy. These 40 stones I've got, I'm going to go ahead and tear through those for this 120, because that would give me that 12,000 milestone. Then we will replenish some stones and do one pull from the temple, hoping it's a good pull, and that can kind of get us through that last 1,000. Because we still have time. So we've got 10 raids coming at 12 souls apiece. Let's get to grinding. I touch also, so not as happy with your second Logu. But that's, you know, I think that's a great thing. At least she's the second Logu. I got my first Logu from a little while ago when they did the class-specific altars. You know, they had the Berserker altar, the Ranger. I think everybody pretty much focused on the Ranger altar during that event because Rangers are the thing right now. But I did one pull, right? There were 4,000 a pull, I think. So I did one pull, got Logo on the first time, said I was going to just stop there. I couldn't resist, so I did one more pull, and I did get a Loco. Then I stopped there, which wasn't bad, because at least, you know, it's Ranger on Ranger, so at least I'm able to go ahead and just use her as food, which I did. But I got that Logu for that very first pull from that temple. Pretty happy with it. So that was the first one. She really wasn't a bad one. I'll pull her up later, do the comparison. Second one, not as happy. So like, you got flanking, resist Titans, ice resist. Yeah, it's a little bit more elemental. On Logu, I think, of course, getting the Panther buffs, the AP, critical things like that is ideal. Kind of same thing goes here for the, who did we just get this champion in this one? Akivu. Don't have him. Not ultimately thrilled about the setup. He's not bad. He's also not great. He's just kind of okay. So again, he's going to sit on the bench. I don't have him, so I'm going to go ahead and keep him. I'm going to collect him because that's what I like to do. I like to collect the Titans. I was hoping, I think it's Akivu who's the champion. We'll do a quick check, but on the database, you can get some pretty nice health, armor piercing, and things like that for the output of damage. You can also, again, for the defensive side, you can get health, armor, and you can get different resists. I was really hoping to avoid elemental resists. I really just wanted armor, I wanted health, and I wanted then some pretty good, decent damage output. I ended up getting a earth resist on him. Again, come on over this way, cats. I'm not thrilled about the earth resist, but again, I'll hang on to him. You know, the day that earth ever has its moment to shine, I might be prepared to resist it a little bit better. So you've got all 3-star rangers I touch. Need a 4-star ranger. I do not have a 4-star ranger yet. I only have 2 4-stars. Sagunga is going to be my third 4-star. But one thing I am happy about is they're all different races and they're all different classes. I'll show you the setup. I've got Arvan, who is the Viking Berserker. I have Venom Tusk, who is my pig, because they don't even consider him a Mossman, just like Snowgore and Flamehide. They are not considered Elethan or Unax. These pigs are their own kind of class. We found that out during an event a little while ago when they said like Unac Titans boosted souls and Flamehide did not boost those souls. And I think after someone had a conversation with support, they said, no, Flamehide is not actually an Unac. So these pigs are kind of their own category. Still waiting for what we're all, you know, Egray, me, Bo, all hoping that he's going to be called Stone Snout. I think it's a very well-fitting name. I think Egray put that name out there. So I hope they still roll that out. And then Sagunga is going to be my third 4-star, which is going to be a Mossman and going to be an Infiltrator. So 3 different 4-stars, 3 different races, 3 different classes. Being free to play, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not winning a 4-star every single season, but I'm also not spending what those players do to get that. So I'm not jealous of it. You know, if they spend for it, they deserve to get it. I'm falling pretty much in this mid-tier category here, doing better than many, not as good as all. But I'm okay with the rewards I've been getting. Lately, I've been using a 2-star ranger. I've been using Laco with all Panthers, and with her buffs, I haven't even really needed a 3-star Titan. I'm using a 2-star in the Masters League. I'm still getting my over 1 million VP. I'm still getting all my resources to keep my builders busy. Venom Tusk taking a whiz here in the bushes. So, I mean, even the 3-stars, I just haven't even felt the need for them yet. So, the only one that I honestly was pushing for was a Logu or Ladega, just because I do all Panthers, that they would only increase my Panther game. So I have been putting some attention on Logu. She's sitting on the bench now just because she does not boost souls. I saw that, iTouch. I saw Zalan's 8 epic pulls. He got a $100 donation to do those pulls. Go Zalan, that's awesome. By the way, anyone who ever wants to drop a $100 donation, I'll be more than happy to spend that money in the game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But he did get $100 to do 8 pulls from the temple of the Epic Titans and did not get a single 4-star. It was actually primarily 2 Titans he got through the entire video. He got the 2-star Mossman Paladin, Omathi, and he got the 2-star Mossman Ranger, Laco, which all became pretty much all fusion food for him. So honestly, that sucked. I felt bad a little bit just kind of seeing him spend $100 and not get a single 4-star out of it. That's Caesar. That is pretty crazy. But good for him. He got that donation. Well deserved. He's a great YouTuber. He's very consistent, very much on it. So kudos to Zalan for that one and getting it. You know, prior to these, this is actually the first time I've ever done back-to-back live streams. I think I've only done one or two other live streams prior to, uh, just because when I was trying to do them, I was on the road a little bit more. I'm actually quite happy I did and had the chance to do these back-to-back live streams. But most of my YouTube content is all a little more production. You know, I shouldn't say production. There's not a lot that I go into. I use iTunes, but I enjoy taking these soul events or these updates that we get, and I like taking the names or the theme of what's going on and finding a song to fit. You know, now this actually was one of my personal favorites on my overview of the Silence. Getting a chance to use, I had to do the live version of Disturbed's "The Sound of Silence." Love that song, love that cover, but I had to make sure I used their live version of it because their studio version is not allowed to be reused on YouTube. But their live version of them playing on Conan can be used. So I use that version. But I like finding the songs to go to themes. So I spend most of my, you know, when it comes down to it, live streaming hasn't always been main focus for me. I like putting a little bit of that work into finding the right song, getting the right fit, just putting together the overview. Been leaving it that for a little bit, but as I keep doing some of this live stream, I'm going to keep trying to add in some different elements until I find that right fit for what I'd like to do. Which makes me think I'm going to test something out with you guys because you guys are here in the chat. Caesar, also not going to ignore it. You've got Talent and Ladega. I know Talent has been a go-to Titan for you. You know, you use him for a lot. I always actually love seeing him. Kind of reminds me of this little like Legolas kind of style. And you've got Ladega, who I'm super jealous of. Thanks for bringing that up. But Talent is, I think he's just one of the cooler looking Titans in the game. I like the look of him. I think he's got this aggressiveness to him, right? He's like the sleeveless muscles are out. Pretty nice overall, like aggressive look to him. You know, just very serious. You know, his whole garb and everything like that is pretty legit. I like him. He is one of my favorite Ranger designed Titans. But since you guys are here in the chat, I'm actually going to see if I can just switch something up. I was playing around with the chat, and I'm going to try to bring it over now. We got a few people in here, but I'm going to add in this element I've been playing with of getting the chat to live stream with me, so we can kind of see a little bit of what everybody's doing. I'm not sure how accurate it's going to be. We're just going to test it for a moment. I'm going to do a little tweaking to it while these guys are out here raiding. Oh, next, turn around. Not sure what it's going to do to this output, so we'll see. I might ditch the chat just because my frames per second are not staying smooth. Let me get in here and do a little tweaking while this raid's going on. There we go. Celebrate. Tweak. Let's see, we're going to do some background color to kind of match our theme. Alright, let's see what happens here, guys. I'm going to drop this chat feature into the live stream. It's going to pop up on the right, and let's just take a look and see what we get working. Thanks for being part of my little guinea pig group, and I'm hoping that our chat can kind of start keeping up with us in here. If it doesn't, I'm going to ditch it. Eye touch, that's a pretty solid defense there. I'm just taking a look here at the stream. I see you guys are chatting in there too. Doesn't look like it's coming through on my live feed. It's a bit of a bummer. Something I'll just kind of keep playing with. Let's keep our raid going. We're going to go ahead and just bring back Sagunga, because it doesn't look like that chat's coming through. Thanks for letting me test that out on you guys, though. Let's go ahead and just switch that back over. So let's see, we're a little over the 2-hour mark. Certainly would not mind having this done quicker than that 3-hour stream last night, but I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, Caesar, I touch agree. He's got that assassin feel to it. I really dig him. I think Talon is, again, just a really well-designed Titan. Alright, let's see if we can pick up the pace on some of these raids. See if we can hit this 12k off this set of stones, which we should be able to do. Let's start bringing in a backup. See if we can get this support to help us move a little faster. Which unfortunately takes a little too damn long for them to get there. Especially when your Panthers are just standing around licking themselves. Sack, where are you at? Let's see. we've got a good number of players all over at least a million. Some pretty close. All up there. And he's saying we're at... Oh, well, he posted that we were at the 49, but now we broke 50 mil for it. I don't know, kind of amazing that 50 million VP still only gets you 15th place. TC really turned it up. I think even in yesterday's stream, we were right there sitting with TC, Wrath, and us. But I know a lot of us have just straight up focused on getting these souls done. Alright, another one bites the dust. Let's keep going. Hi, Touch. I just read your comment. Panthers are like kids. They play with their food instead of killing it. Oh, yeah, I mean, hopefully, your kids aren't having to kill their own food, but it is. I mean, the Panthers, sometimes they just get there, and they just stand there like a pack, and they're like cats, you know. Just imagine they're just sitting around, just like, oh, they're like, oh, in the middle of battle, oh, I'm just going to sit here and lick myself like a useless cat. Alright, good. It was, what, about a half-minute raid? Let's get this going, guys. I'm distracting myself. Still playing with a little bit of this chat feature. Trying to just get that hustle to work a little bit. Come back here, gotta get focus on my raids. Just keep going about this. Grind out this last set of stones. Knock out this 12k. Then we'll go for one more set of stones. Hopefully just one more relic will give it to us. Now watch, here's the thing. I'm going to have only just like 1,000 souls to complete. Watch me pull a 4-star. I'm going to see if I can call it. Watch me pull a 4-star, which will give me 1,500 souls. So I'll have more than what I'll actually need. That's just kind of what will happen. moving it. I touch. I will make this before the end. And it's only 6 hours left. Even if I just sat here grinding it, only buying portal stones, I would still make it in this timing. All I'm trying to do now is keep my cost of finishing this event as low as possible for what I have to spend on it. I try, even when I do save up and go to complete an event, I try to spend primarily only what the game has given me. So I save up those tokens. I use the tokens that you actually get from the event. So I've kind of been aiming for that. Useless troop drop. Where did those Imperials even drop? Somewhere in a tree. There they are. The cat found them, even though I didn't. I didn't even note it. Oh, but they helped kill that panther. What are you going to do? But anyways, I try to use only what the game gives me to finish these events per that event. I try to save up my gems to avoid spending them until I've really been trying to hold out until the new race. I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon to where I need to like hoard my gems. But I'm trying to just finish this event with as little gem cost to me. I think I've already gone through 6, 8K. Having a teammate not get a 4-star because of 2 battles. Time ran out. Yeah, that's just getting a little too close. I mean, if you're that close, just buy the token and get through it. I mean, when you're literally down to the minutes, you don't need to be that close to it. I mean, if you're 2 battles away, that's just poor management, honestly. Sorry. All right, we hit it. Your total, 12,000 exact. I'm just going to go ahead and screenshot that for a minute. I mean, to fall on the exact 12K, I don't know, it's kind of neat. Let's keep it moving. So we've got 1,000. Do we pull a relic now, see what it is, and then buy the portal stones? I think that's what we're going to go for it. We're 1,000 away. I mean, time-wise, I could... Got 5.5 hours. I could grind that 1,000 out. $12 battles apiece. I mean, 12 souls apiece for the battles. What's that math come out to? I'm doing it real quick. 1,000 divided by 12 souls per battle. That's 83 battles. Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and buy it. Hopefully, one more. Would love to get another 3-star, maybe even a 4-star for this. I've got some Titan food. Primarily just putting all 1-stars. I think I might have a couple 2-star infiltrators. I'm only going to stick with infiltrator fusion into it. I like to keep it class on class. A 1-star. It's going to get me halfway there. Okay. That's going to get me halfway there. I'm not thrilled about that one. God, I would have loved another 3-star. So I've got some Infiltrator Titans. Again, these 1-stars that I'll be ready to fuse into them. Her. Which, if I can get her in some decent time, today we'll throw some fusion into the stream as well. Am I doing Unax? I got 23 of you. Okay. But I know she's going to be one that I'll probably have to use in battles and take to the arena to go ahead and get leveled up to a strong, usable point. She's not one that's going to get levels right away just by me throwing a ton of Titans into. Alright, Venom Tusk, do your thing. Get Corey on the backhand. There you go. Whew, that was a strong backhand, Venom Tusk. Alright, come on. Come on. Keep going. Hoping that by the time I finish the next 2 raids, I will have earned 1 more Portal Stone, which will give me a clean 9. Then I can drain that out of. Honestly, I've been scoping. I mean, most of the lands I've been hitting have been in the demotion zone, but in the season I'm in Masters right now, we have a good chunk of that demotion zone that is just one player in it. So there's really not full-on alliances, and even the ones that I've scoped still have pretty high defenses, like 90k or something like that, which doesn't really help me for speed rating. And even these guys, look at, again, stuck on my Titan. Walk away, Venom Tusk. Walk away. Look at that. I hate that little glitch there. Nice. Just had someone. Thank you. Let's see, D-Bear. Hitting me up online. Getting you added. I'm going to get you put into our DOT chat. So thanks for tuning into the stream. Going to go ahead and get you added onto the line chat as well. So again, thanks for tuning in. Yet again, if there's anyone else that tunes in, watches this after the fact, again, you can reach out to me. My handles are at the bottom of the screen here. On Twitch, Asgard Gaming _FANDRL. Not a lot of content there yet, but I'm going to be bringing some different game action to Twitch. It won't be DOT. I believe that the DOT community is a lot more about YouTube. But a few of these other games I'll be playing more of. We'll be going there. But good DOT chat online if you want to jump in on that. It's pretty much open. We don't do a hardcore regulation. The only thing we've got going for us pretty much nothing derogatory. Keep the 3 things out of there: religion, race, that kind of stuff. And no spamming. You know, that, not that I need to tell you the rules here. You could see it in the chat, but other than that, you know, it's all about DOT. Players from all over the place. If you're not in it, jump in on it. That's line. That ID is to the right-hand side, DOT FANDRL. And then you can also hit me up on Twitter, ASG_FANDRL. iTouch, just showing you that perspective there for a minute. You could see that these bottom alliances are all just these 1-2s, groups of people, and they still are in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or higher defenses. So for that, I've kind of been checking out a little bit more of these lower 30s, and I've had a few of them that I found, and that actually I wish I would have tagged it, and I kind of just forgot to before it moved away on me. There's this one alliance out here. It's got a little cluster of players that are like 6K, 3K lands. So they made it nice and quick. I think I've already hit Nate once before, even on the stream. He's about to get hit again, but I'm just going to take a look around his alliance. If there's anything else. Here we go. See? We'll make good use of these 2 open lands. 3K and 3K. Okay, let's raid that. Caesar, nice. Android 7.1.1, you can watch and play on same device. So the device that you're on then supports your split screen. That is pretty solid. There we go. We got that one more portal stone. Wrap it out to an even 3. Gives us one more raid there. And another bubble popped on this guy's land. So let's get it in. Alright, let's refill. So I'm under my 20,000 barrier. That's okay. Let's add another 50 stones. Sorry, in a couple weeks, these gems will be back up over 20k. Do we need... No, we're still getting a boost. How many more? 8 more battles. Okay. Let's crush through it. So Caesar is saying, split screen is the best feature Android has. Watch YouTube and surf the web at the same time. Love it. I do love it too. I do all my gaming mostly and stuff like that on an iPad. iTouch. This stream right now is being played on an iPad. I have it connected to my Mac, and with Mac I'm using a software called Game Show, and that's allowing me to stream out here onto YouTube. I know a lot of players go out there. I think Caesar, you do it as well. Zalon does it. You know, Android, you guys can stream right from your device, which is pretty nice. That's something I'm definitely a bit jealous of. But Apple has only just recently allowed the screen to start being even recorded. So that's actually made some of my videos easier to make because now I can just record it, where weeks ago, because this just came out last week, I think, iOS 11, I used to have to even plug my iPad into my computer and use QuickTime to record it. So that was sometimes even just tedious to do. But now that I at least can record from my device, at least I'll be able to make videos, not live stream yet, but at least make videos a little bit faster, easier. My videos I mostly put together in iMovie. I almost said iTunes for a minute. iMovie. Which I can also do right from my iPad. The only thing that I can't do is stream to YouTube right from the device yet. Nice, Caesar. Thanks for sharing the love there on your stream as well. I don't know if you were here when I shouted out to you. I don't know if you missed it again because I didn't see you comment. I had just gotten the Tainted Blade, the 4-star relic here. I think it was my second or third fuse. I called out, it's the Caesar 7, I had 7%, and it was success. It was only my second or third fusion on it. Forge. God, I keep saying this backwards. Like my third forge. So I gave you props there for the Caesar 7 again. It worked. Don't know if you were here to celebrate that with me. But also, of course, big shout out to you and your channel. Anyone here that is watching now that wasn't watching, I don't know, what, an hour and a half ago even, maybe when I started shouting at Caesar187 in the comments. Great player to watch. I have a good time just sitting back watching him. Even the devs tune in for Caesar's streams, which I think is great, Caesar. But then we've also got the other players. I'll give them another shout out. Bo, Zalan, Candor Kid, Pisces Shark are all, Soldier, all pretty standard DOT YouTube contributors. Yeah, Caesar, you missed. If you did miss today's Caesar 7, then that's 2 days in a row you missed a Caesar 7 success. Gotta stop finding better things to do than Dawn of Titans. Alright guys, let's see how close we're getting to this 13K. Ultimately, I'm hoping for armor piercing, armor piercing, armor piercing, critical, poison damage. That would be my skill lineup if I got to pick them. Nice. See here, nice little pocket of small lands. This makes this final 1,000 at least seem a little bit easier to kind of get through. I'm glad I didn't use these up first. Just auto order it. Let's go. Except for you. You are going to face the back. Nice. There you go, Digital. Thanks for giving Caesar some love as well. Caesar, I know you can chat it up in band and everything like that. I don't know if you have the Line app for any DOT chat. If you don't, get it. If you do, hit me up on it. I don't think you're in my DOT chat on there. I know I love Band kind of popping in there for some news. Lately, I've been having some serious problems with Band. Just messages being hidden very randomly, so you can't really keep up on it all. And lately, I haven't been getting any notifications from Band. I actually have to like go into it and then also go into the chat room to even see if there's anything. I'm not getting any pop-ups to let me know a conversation is taking place. You do have land. You do have land. You do have line. Hit me up on there then. DOT FLNDRL. I don't know your line. I would assume it's Caesar 187, so I can go looking for you too. But we just got a Zaid Gamer in there, so he kind of pops his videos over there for everybody as well too. Other than that, it's the line chat room is a great chat room for talking about Titan skills. I mean, honestly, comparing it, the band chat is very social for DOT. This line chat that we've got going on is very strategic for DOT. It's, you know, here's my Titan. What relics could I do with these skills? What would be your suggestions? Talking about things like that, a little more strategy that goes into it. So do know, I mean, if you're on the band chat, Non-Toxic's got a great band chat, open to all DOT players. Amazing social atmosphere for DOT. If you also want something that's very strategic for DOT, hit me up online. So I'm telling you, I'm watching the battlefield, and what I was talking about earlier on the stream, catapults in the game. It would be pretty legitimate. Come on, like this nice open field, have a set of catapults in the back, just chucking them out there. And taking some troops out. Having a few catapults right there, alongside with those grenadiers. I think that'd be pretty legit. Alright, so Venom Tusk. From level 15, now up to 20 and a half. Not bad pulling him off the bench here. Honestly, I haven't used him in months. Let's see where we're at. 520 to the next reward. How am I doing? Lost Souls. 2 more boosts off of here. Okay. iTouch, thank you much for sticking with me. I've never... your eyes feel like you stapled bricks to them. That sounds like some pretty decent exhaustion to me, so thanks for coming back to this stream. Get a chance to see my Sagunga skills tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Triple AP, poison damage, and a critical. I'd be happy with that set. I'd be really thrilled with double poison and triple AP. But I won't be too choosy. Let's see if we can find some small ones to pick on. Alright, we'll just come back to Nate over here. N-A-T-E. Barely any troops. What are you doing sprinting all the way over here? Cece, your Durat is solid. I've got 2 Durats that I'd like to actually work on both of them. They're decent. I don't know if they're necessarily amazing, but they're decent and I wouldn't mind working on them. I remember Durat was one of the Titans that was... I'm trying to think of what tier he was at. One of the very first soul events I ever played in. Back in December. And it was Fire, Unax, and Durat. I think it was Durat and Drakor was the main prize. And I want to say Durat was a prize. That 3-star was like... Was he at like the 5,000 soul count or something like that? But I wasn't far from getting him. And I told a story earlier about how I started in a pretty crappy alliance and then I'm starting my own. I did that switch in the middle of that Unak event in December, not knowing at that point in time that your souls get reset to 0 when you leave your alliance. So I completely missed out on that because I wasn't going to do that whole grind all over again. I mean, I was just getting... I think I was only on my 2nd week in the game, something like that. And ever since then, I was always like, I was so close to getting Durat and completely took it away from myself by pure simple mistake. So I've kind of always wanted him, and eventually, I mean, a few months ago, I finally did get him, but like I was thrilled because he was that one Titan that kind of eluded me for a moment. So it's only a couple of Titans that I like really want in this game. Drakor is one of them because I think he is one of the coolest looking Titans in the game. I want Koldan because he's the 4-star Ragnar, and I really like Ragnar Titans. I know they don't have their moment to shine right now, but I like Koldan. I think I like him just because one of the first Titans I got in my 1st or 2nd week was Karn, who was a 3-star, so I got a pretty decent Titan pretty early on from I think it was a drop somehow. So let's see. Koldan, Drakor would be the other one. And I want Ladega. I want her just because the Panthers right now. All right, let me do a quick check here. 424 to the next reward. That would be one more relic. All right, let's buy the last one. Even a 1-star, a 2-star, any of them would be good right now. I actually don't need a 4-star, so please don't give me a 4-star and make me feel like, damn, I missed out on a whole bunch. A 1-star, cool. I'll go with the 1-star. That's 576 souls. Guys, we got this. Got a full set of portal stones. I don't have Ayaka, or as many people call it because of, well, who now calls himself also Yakface. I do not have that Titan. I'll pull up my Titan list in a moment. Once we kind of get Sagunga, I'll run through a little bit what we got since we're going to do a little bit of fusion as well. Let's get, kind of getting excited now. Just one bottle of light away, right? Let me just double check this. We've got 26 raids. Will this last set of portal stones do it for me? 26 raids divided by 3 stats equals, I've got 8, maybe 9, because I'll get an extra stone soon. Time that time by 48. 416. So I'm going to come in just with this set of portal stones alone, 416. How many more do we need? 424. All right, we're going to get this. I've got a feeling I got to have a few portal stones in my treasure room to help me out get these final few. Looks like we're going to be doing another 3-hour stream. We're just 4 hours away from another 3-hour stream tonight. Was hoping I honestly could have gotten it done a little quicker. Had I stayed focused, I might have been moved a little faster. Look at how small Duret looks compared to Venom Tusk. These pigs are just big titans. Oh, size doesn't count. He went down. I'm curious to know, those still watching, we've lost just a couple over as we've neared the end here. Are you guys watching on YouTube or YouTube Gaming? I need to use some gold because I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. That's okay. We'll do that later. I'm not really worried about resources. So for now, I'm kind of just trying to let my screen chill on a larger perspective. Hoping that kind of helps out with some of these frame per seconds. I know you guys are getting just a little bit of lag. And I thank you guys for kind of like sticking through that and watching. So I'm trying to avoid too much on the battle, even though we're blocked by trees. That's okay. I just noticed that that's kind of helping eliminate some of that drag on the screen if I'm not moving throughout the battle as well. Alright, let's keep going. On to the next, to the next, to the next. By Unex. Had I even tried to move them, they're just too slow. The speed on some of these troops, Titans both, it's just slow. I mean, the fastest moving troops there are Panthers. These spearmen and militia and archers move faster than the Unex, but I guess that's, they gotta give and they gotta take a little, so they've got some of the best range in the game. Their damage is pretty good, so they gotta give them a weakness, and that's slowing them down compared to spells. The part that's just so difficult to deal with is even if I was using my Laco right now, because she does all Panther damage buffing. She buffs critical, she buffs, I think, AP, damage. She's nothing but damage boosting for my Panthers. That these raids on these 20k lands would be done in 10 seconds. So even the fact that this is taking me around half a minute feels almost painfully long. Alright, roll into the next one. Let's just keep grinding it, grinding it, grinding it. We're at the finish line. The only thing that we're going to hope for is that we can get a few extra portal stones in that treasure room. Help wrap up like the last, I think, the portal stones I've got. I'm going to be 10, 20 souls shy, I think, right? So, forgot the math that I already did. Let's see, we've got gain one more portal stone by the time I use those 11, so that's going to give me 4 battles right there. 4 battles at 48. Give me pretty dang close. Alright, who's next? Too bad those small ones aren't unbubbled. '30s and '40s. Okay, that's a nice small cluster. This will get us through it. Seven more uses. So we've got 4 battles left on the current portal stones. I need to get 3 more battles out of portal stones. Hoping we can then pull 3 portal stones from the treasure room. Or even, if we're lucky, a double portal stone. Because I'd hate to buy 50 when all I need are 9 more. But I will do what I need to be this close to Sagunga. How are we doing on Panthers, by the way? Yeah, we still got plenty. Let's swap out. Now let's bring that Grenadier's been helpful on some occasions. Sorry for that scratching in the microphone. If I gotta get myself yet again. I'm doing this very, I don't know, ad hoc. And I'm just using my standard headset for recording, and every time I kind of let this mic drop a little too low, it kind of hangs right into my beard. So you guys get a little scratching sound there. I hate going up against Panthers. It just slows me down. I don't feel like getting hung up like that. These will be fine. Come on, let's knock it out. Make these last 100 souls quick. I'm already getting nervous for what Sagunga's skills are going to be. You know, when you work for a Titan like this, especially being free to play, you really hope it pays off. Ultimately, I mean, one reason that kind of made me push for Sagunga is that I don't think you can honestly get a bad mix of skills on her. She's pretty much either damage, poison damage, critical, or armor piercing. Actually, I don't even think damage. I think it's just poison damage, critical, armor piercing. So, I mean, any mix of those I'd be happy with, which is what made me actually push to go for her. Is I don't think you can get a bad thing. You can't get a resist lightning on Sagunga. And for that, I said, I'm in. Going for it. Being very careful of the Titans I choose to go for. But fortunately, we saw her skills pretty early on. We got a chance to see what they look like on the dev live stream. They don't always show the skills, but this time they actually gave a pretty good glimpse at them. And seeing the way that even they had theirs stacked, I actually really liked the way that the Titan was stacked in the dev stream. Problem is just getting the right relics put on them to optimize it. So again, for me, I'm going all poison damage boost for Sagunga, along with Panthers. So these Tainted Blades, Tainted Bows, maybe a Great Plague, and then still splitting the difference between either Mount Armor and Bitter Dirks. So after I winter, I see what my skill set's going to be. I'm going to start taking a look at the database. I did it. How come that went along a little faster than I thought? I thought I still was going to need more portal stones, but we did it. We broke through it at a perfect 0 portal stones. Let's take a quick screenshot there. Now the reveal. All this just to be nervous as hell. This Sagunga. I'm well, clearly storage is full. Clearly not good at math because I thought I still needed 3 more raids to hit that 13,000. This is great. We're at 3 hours, 10 minutes. Let's get Sagunga. I'm gonna clear up a little bit of relic space. A lot of relic space, actually. Let's go to that 4-star Tainted Blade. Let's forge this. I still have 3 left over on the Bottle of Light. That's okay. We'll keep that. We'll save that. Until the next event. Forge fail. That's okay. Let's do it again. Caesar 7. If this 7 works again, Caesar. I was really hoping. Alright, I think that freed up our space. How much time do we have left on some of those, just to make sure? 22 minutes. Alright, last couple then I'll have to end up forging out, but completed, unlocked. Well, let's get that token. I almost forgot about that. Sagunga. Let's do the poll. Digital, thank you for the congrats. Thanks for coming in for both these streams and sticking through it. I really appreciate that. Let's get Sagunga. She's ours. Now let's see what she's got to offer. I'm so nervous for this. Looking wonderful. Critical, critical, AP, critical. I got the reverse of what I was going for. I'm not disappointed by this by any means. I mean, let's take a quick database check. 3 criticals, 1 AP, and a poison damage. I was really hoping for more armor piercing. So let's just see. But let's see. I can get that armor piercing, I think, from some relics. So Sagunga. Database here. Level 60. When she gets there. Skill level 1. Poison damage. Skill 2. Critical. Skill 3. It's also critical. Skill 4 is going to be AP. Skill 5. Critical again. So at max, her Titan poison damage will be 60%. Her critical Roaring Strike is going to be 30, then 36, then 36 again, and then 44. Zalan, what's up? Just jumped in, just pulled Sagunga. Taking a look at her stats. Again, I kind of really would have hoped for AP. Yeah, I would have loved a little bit of a different switch around. I would have loved poison damage number 3 at the bottom, because that would have been all the way up at 90%. Armor piercing at the bottom would have been around 44%, and I got 44 critical, so I got some pretty good critical. It's definitely good. I'm not upset by it. I'm not disappointed, but now I can start pumping on some relics, and I can start playing around with this. Without the relics alone, let's just see, her damage comes out to 7781, 87,000 health. So now I'm just going to play around with my relics on database for a little bit. I'm pretty sure I can get some more armor piercing from my relics. I think from the Tainted Blade. I think from the bow as well. So we'll just kind of have to, we'll just play and see, but not bad. Still would have loved armor piercing. I'm going to be hung up on that for a minute until I can just let it go. Let's take a look. Talking about that Tainted Blade. Zalan, congrats if you got it just in time as well. What were the skills you pulled? And how come we didn't see a stream from you tonight? Oh no, Tainted Blade is going to be poison damage boost. Why am I thinking AP? So I'm going to have to find a way to go ahead and get that armor piercing up a little bit higher. Probably going to go with, I think, Great Plague. Does that give me armor piercing? I'm going to have to spend some time in that database to really figure it out. Running out of 2 stars to forge here. Oh, you weren't going all the way on this one. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. 6 spots open. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's exactly what I needed to wrap it up. Let's just do one more round. Poison damage. Sea Titan critical. Really needed that AP. That's what I was looking Salon, yeah. Apparently when I stream, I do it in 3-hour chunks. Last night 3 hours, tonight 3 hours. Not planned, but I guess I just was going for it. But let's take a look at this Titan lineup real quick. So now I've got for my 4 stars, Arvan, Sugunga, Venom Tusk. Sugunga is going to definitely be my next project. I pulled a Kivu from this event, of course, the champion. Skill-wise, again, not great, not bad. I got Earth Resist, AP, Armor, and Critical. I don't mind those last 3. I would have preferred Health for the first one, but that's okay. 3 out of 4 isn't a bad win. And then I've got those Logus. I've got one at 13 now. She's got AP, Armor, Damage against Titans, and Panther's Resist against Fire. I wasn't happy with her at first until someone reminded me, hey, resisting fire is pretty good for those Grens. A non-toxic is ahead of Rogue Squad. Nice job, Zone. So is that a hashtag beat Bo? I always forget which NT each of you guys are in. Again, the second logo that I pulled from here. I got charge damage, resist against poison, damage, and resist against lightning. So the double damage is okay here. The Panther resist against poison would be decent for going against, you know, Ladegas, Logus, and even other Panthers. The lightning, again, serves me not a lot of benefit here unless lightning suddenly becomes OP soon. But that's a bit of the lineup. Thanks for guys for coming through here and grinding it to Sugunga with me. Hopefully it was a stream you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this after the fact, thanks for checking it out. If you're watching it for 3 hours after I stream it for 3 hours, we might need to talk about other hobbies for you. But please make sure you go ahead and give it that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Again, feel free to hit me up online, DOT FLNDRL, Twitter, Twitch, other games coming soon there. Again, thanks guys for tuning in for a second live stream. This is FLNDRL, and I'm out.